Hi guys, this is the first story. This is from the Washington Post. It says Trump eyes privatizing U.S. Postal Service because it claims that he is citing financial losses, and it says Trump viewed it with the mail agency in his first term. Yeah, because of the election, he wanted to block voting by mail because apparently I heard that people that vote by mail are usually Democrats. And blue states typically prioritize voting by mail. So if you take the voting machines out of the post office, sorting machines or whatever, it slows the process down. And so, yeah, we know about that. Privatizing it could shake up customer shipping and business supply chains. Well, I know that Louis DeJoy, he's the postmaster general of the post office, and ain't he from like XPO Logistics, which is another like shipping company, I think. Yeah, like yeah, you put a guy that's over his other shipping business over the post office. Of course, the post office is going to suffer. Like, duh. I'm finna read more. It says President-elect Donald Trump has expressed a keen interest in privatizing the U.S. Postal Service in recent weeks. Three people with knowledge of the matter said a move that could shake up consumer shipping and business supply chains and push hundreds of thousands of federal workers out of the government. So basically, isn't this part of the Department of Government Efficiency with Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, whatever the fucking name is? Trump has discussed his desire to overhaul the post office at his Mar-a-Lago estate with Howard Lutnick, his pick for commerce secretary and co-chair of his presidential transition. The People said earlier this month, Trump also convened a group of transition officials to ask for their views on privatizing the agency. One of the people said, toll of the mail agency's annual financial losses. Trump said the government should not subsidize the organization. The People said. The People spoke on the condition of anonymity to reflect private conversations. Trump's specific plans for overhauling the post office were not immediately clear, but he feuded with the nation's mail carrier as president in 2019, trying to force it to hand over key functions, including rate setting, personal decisions, and labor relations, and managing relationships with its largest clients to the Treasury Department. So right here is a chart. Apparently in 2022, because look here, even during Obama's terms, 2014, 2016, it was a gaining in revenue. Well, you could say a lot of this has to do with people going digital. People don't send letters anymore. Like of course you're gonna lose revenue. You make money off stamps, like email you sending it electronically. So Trump first term, lost more revenue. In 2022, during the Biden years, it got subsidized $56 billion. Then last 2 years, it lost revenue. So yeah, it continues. The government is slow, decades slow on adopting new ways of doing things. And there's a lot of other carrier services that became legal in the 70s that are doing things so much better with increased volumes and reduced costs, said Casey Mulligan, who served as top economist in the first Trump administration. We didn't finish the job in the first term, but we should finish it now. Yeah, the postmaster general was, I think, CEO of XPO Logistics, so of course, just throw the post office to the side and let Trump's maybe donors, which probably handle it. Jeez. The postal system is older than the nation itself. Founded in 1775 with Benjamin Franklin as its chief. Excuse me, guys. Revitalized with the free rural delivery at the start of the 20th century, then transformed into a financially self-sustaining agency in 1970, designed to bind the nation together through the mail. Even though financial challenges rose by the rise of the internet, like I said, the post office has remained one of America's most beloved federal agencies, second only to the National Park Service in a 2024 Pew Research Center study. Yeah, because National Park Service and the post office is, I guess they serve the people, like National Park, He is able to preserve, little of the fucking nature we have left because, because fossil fuel companies want to drill everywhere and fucking, and other shit. So, but as congressional Republicans and others in Trump's orbit have clamored in recent weeks for federal cost cutting, the Postal Service has emerged as a prominent target. People who work on the Department of Government Efficiency, a non-governmental panel led by tech entrepreneurs Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, have also held preliminary conversations about major changes to the post office, said two other people familiar with the matter who also spoke on the condition of anonymity to reflect private talks. The Postal Service had lost $9.5 billion in the fiscal year ending September 30th, stung by continued declines in mail volume and a slower than anticipated parcel shipping business, even as it made major new investments in modernized facilities and equipment. Well, Donald Trump took out the fucking sorting machines, guys, like back in 2020. So, yeah, of course he's gonna take a step back. Like, yeah, the agency faces nearly $80 billion in liabilities according to its annual financial report. Cuts to the Postal Service could upend the trillion-dollar e-commerce industry, hitting small businesses and rural customers whose business and budgets make the agency the shipper of choice. Amazon, the Postal Service largest customer, uses the agency for last-mile delivery between its hulking product fulfillment centers and customer homes and businesses. Amazon founder owns Washington Post, and the agency's universal service obligation requires it to deliver mail or parcels regardless of distance or profitability concerns, means it often the only carrier that would deliver to far-flung reaches of the country. Yeah, so yeah. Attempts to privatize one of the most prominent parts of the federal government could spark political backlash, especially for Republicans representing rural districts that the agency disproportionately serves. Federal officials from Alaska, for example, often invite postal executives to the last frontier to see how crucial the postal service is to the state economy. Yeah, like my mama lives in a rural area. Like the post office is. Yeah, everybody don't live in like New York and L.A. and Atlanta and Miami, where, for example, Amazon got trucks that go out and deliver packages to their houses. Like, you need the post office if you live in, rural areas. So, in most rural areas are Republican. So, yeah, I guess Dunny boy privatizing it isn't going to help things none. Responding to inquiries about privatizing the agency, a Postal Service spokesperson said the agency's 10-year modernization plan has led it to cut 45 million work hours in the past 3 years and reducing spending on transportation by $2 billion. The agency is also seeking regulatory approval to alter its mail processing and delivery timetables to better align with private sector practices. The spokesperson said in a statement. Then it says here, the United States Postal Service is already engaged in an initiative to ensure that we can provide our customers with a high level of service to every delivery address in the nation at least 6 days a week in an efficiency and financially sustainable fashion as required by law, the agency statement said. Trump had a long, tense relationship with the mailing agency. He once derived it from the Oval Office as a joke, and in a social media post on Amazon's delivery boy. In early days of the coronavirus pandemic, Trump threatened to withhold emergency assistance from the Postal Service unless it quadruple package prices, and his Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin authorized a loan for the mail agency only in exchange for access to its confidential contracts with top customers. Of course. Ahead of the 2020 election, Trump said the Postal Service was incapable of fulfilling mailing voting. Yep, this is what I was talking about earlier. Because the agency said agency could not access the emergency funding he was blocking. The Postal Service ultimately delivered 97.9% of ballots from voters to election officials within 3 days. So yeah, y'all. More privatization, I guess. Making the postal service privatize will be more of a hinder than a help, because if you live in a rural area like my mom does, and basically I do too, but my city is kind of like, it's bigger than average. Um, where like, like, yeah, like I said, like Amazon got their own trucks. Like those trucks don't go into rural areas; they go into the cities and stuff, and suburbs. So yeah, I started talking about Trump because people say you don't talk about Trump enough. Well, it's a bad idea. It's part of Elon and Vivek's plan. They want to cut government officials. Then they say they want to cut 75% of government officials, which is fucking insane. But hey, you know, like as I tell people, result of Trump is a systematic issue. Like Ty Peasant said to herself. Like Ty Peasant is so intelligent. She is like, I never even thought about it like that. See, you know, um, but yeah. So, would Trump do it? I wouldn't put it past him. Like, see, it's different between Trump first term and this term. Like the first term, Trump had people that kind of hold him in check. I guess they must have bribed him or some shit like that. Because Trump's a narcissist. But this term, Trump got people that will cuddle his ball sack. So, all right, guys, let's get